But, you know, and if you can't answer questions, say, hey, we'll look into it and we'll publicize it in the paper, the answer or something, you know.
Sort of like public forums.
Yeah, a public forum.
We're going to present some topics, but then we'll answer questions.
And we could have a list of the benefits maybe ready to say, and then just open it to questions and answer what we can, and if we can't, then we say, we'll get that answer and we'll publicize it. And maybe even
if you don't, you're going to have people say, well, what are they hiding?
Well, yeah.
What are you hiding?
Well, and
you got to be forthcoming on everything you know, and let people know too. Because if you don't, man, it gets out of hand real fast.
We have to give people an opportunity to ask the question, you know. And if they don't want to come, then fine.
Yep.
And you may give them a chance. Say, this is the amount of time that we have. If you didn't get your question answered or asked, write it on a piece of paper, and we'll try and address it somehow in the paper or not, you know. But then you get an idea of what those questions are.
The other thing I thought is, could you have the petition there and say, if you are for it and are here for it and want to go ahead and sign it too. You know, if you could, I mean, you could be right up front. You don't have to. But maybe kill two birds with one stone, or at least
the more
get
you can get on the petition, the better it is.
Yeah.
The more strength you have.
Marty, I like that idea because I think we are kind of in a time crunch, and you know, I don't know what the questions are either.
Well, I don't either. I mean,
if you made it very public and made sure that people knew about it, probably offer it twice. I don't know if you have to offer it in both communities.
And if you could almost have a moderator, because I wouldn't want it to become a You'd want somebody like you up there who would try to say, okay, we're just going to have questions and answers and facts and no.
We could do something along, almost organize it around a couple of these topics, like the first forum is on finance and something. And we'd present information. You might help with, so what's the kind of information that people might want to know? But then we could answer questions related to it or follow up at the next, whatever these things are called, with here are the questions that came up last time and answers to those in the next topic. Or
we're probably going to have different questions from different communities.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is the SAC people's hang up is having the high school down here, and where Wall Lake may have something different, or even Auburn might have something different too.
Sure.
And that's a tough one to deal with for some people, you know. They're from Wall Lake and Lakeview, Auburn reorganized. I can think of 2 or 3 guys who never missed a basketball game until then. They just couldn't bring themselves to come over here and watch a basketball game in this gym. All they did was deprive themselves, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
You know, I don't feel any different here than I ever did in Wall Lake. I feel as welcome here as I did over there. I feel as much a part of this community as of that community. Have good friends and good customers in both communities, and in Sac City too, for that matter.
Who would be answering these questions?
I think if you have 2 or 3 people on a point, then that group of people would answer the questions. I think that would be how you'd handle that.
Say that again.
Like if you have 2 or 3 people.
The superintendent was going to answer them all.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But, I think, you know, if you have a couple, 3 or 4 people like look at the finance and property values, those people would be the ones that would try to answer the questions at a public forum.
Well, and there would be, you know, on a number of the finance topics, our business managers would be logical people to answer some of those questions too, because they work with it daily, you know. And
because I know people are, you know, what's this going to do with my taxes? How's this going to affect me? You know, my land taxes and my house and home taxes. You know, a lot of people are concerned about that. And, you know, that's all information you can get locally and then off from the internet. So.
Well, in that case, then maybe you can go a step further and ask the county assessor or somebody to be there that could,
so it's truly a,
you know, deals with that. How does that all work?
I let the bankers know.
Right.
Yep. Field on a daily basis. I mean, that's truly what you. I mean, it's like when you're talking about land value, to bring in the assessor to talk about, and that way there's that level of expertise that people are going to trust.
Right.
And that's a lot of what this is. The conversation that we're having with the public is trust. Do they trust the answers that we give, and do they feel like they're getting accurate information? The last thing you want is misinformation out there, because that's really what starts the fires burning, is misinformation that gets put out there.
I think you would also show that this is a public vote and not a school board vote by having the public involved in a question and answer. That it's not some secret agenda that the school boards are trying to railroad.
People have got to be able to get their questions answered.
But
they've got to be willing to come forward and ask those questions. You can't just go to the bar at night and discuss it with the guy next to you and expect to get the right answer.
But we keep coming back to some of the... We're not looking at all these topics on this page. I mean, I hear people talk about finance, I hear people talk about taxes now, property valuations, things like that. You know, some of these are just common sense. Educational programs, I mean, that would be very easy to put a list out there.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these...
For you guys, but maybe not for the person outside.
But some of it we're going to have to get from them.
That could be information that could be right there and readily available.
We could group these in things that are more alike together. And I look at like transportation, facilities, and finance. Well, a lot of the issues around transportation and facilities equipment have to do with finance, and so you could put 3 or 4 of those topics together probably. And we might be able to brainstorm some of what we think people would want to know, not being able to guess all of that, so that we had something ready to give them, but then could field questions, or take questions and 3 weeks later we're back with another meeting answering those questions and adding another topic. You know, the whole idea of us not trying to make it secret. If anyone thinks we are, I'm really strongly offended by that, because I think we are so public about things. But that can be what somebody thinks, is because they don't know the answer to it. They think that we're being secret about it. But by gosh, they better show up at these team meetings. But the other side of it, I guess, is if they don't, we did make it public. We tried everything we could to talk to people about what's going on in the school.
I guess as many facts as you can show them, and all the way from your school enrollment by grade and...
We just went through consolidation of 2 REC districts, SAC and Glidden. And, you know, we had meetings, and when it got down to the vote, people still didn't have the facts straight. I mean, they were at the meetings, but yet, just like Chuck says, you know, they go to the coffee shop and they discuss all this, and you just shake your head. I mean, they passed, but you still think, no, people, why it like went in one ear and out the other. It just passed through space. So we're going to have this, you know, if we proceed, and that's just something you're going to have to deal with. But I think it's a positive, very positive thing, and I think we should pursue it and go forward. I really do.
It would be nice for people to know that their school, this school, East Sac County, is rapidly moving toward being a model school in the state of Iowa for schools our size. We really are. Our teachers are doing a terrific job. I don't think that there's any faculty, any place, that's doing more in terms of getting themselves better educated than this faculty is. They put in a lot of hard time, a lot of time away from the regular day, a lot of their own time. And too many people don't see that, can't see it maybe. Some don't want to see it, but our kids are being offered an excellent education. Not all of them are accepting it, but an awful lot of them are.